um, classroom rules. The bathrooms are on my left, is right. Males, females. The bar area is there. You guys can go at any time.
During breaks.
Okay, during breaks. So can you also please just make sure that we pay attention to our speakers? So people at the bar, Michelle, during the sessions, can we please just give our speakers respect? Please pay attention. So we have a very full panelist of beautiful women, right? Yes. Right. So I think without further ado, I'm just going to kick off the whole session. As I said, my MC is missing. So I think I'll just give it to the first speaker, which is. All right. So actually, before I start, thank you once again for attending, guys. This is GDG, Japanese Work Collaboration with DBB. My name is Koketo, and I'm the DBG. So we actually try to host these kind of events on a monthly basis. I think for the last 7 months we've been here. So we're really looking forward to seeing you guys. Please interact with us on our social medias. We're always there, Twitter, Instagram, and so forth. So if you actually need to speak to someone in the room, you can speak to myself, you can speak to Joe, which is a panelist. We also have a few members in the crowd as well, which ones we're in the GDG, which I wouldn't have. But yeah, so thank you for coming through, guys, and ladies and gentlemen. But please do make sure you guys have fun and ask questions because we've got something nice with it. Right, so no further ado, thank you.
Hi everyone, how are you guys doing? Awesome. So I'm Tati, and I am a software engineer. I'm also a full stack data person. I do a bit of everything, and I'm an entrepreneur. Cool. So a little bit about me. So by the way, I didn't know what to really touch. I don't know if I should be technical or just. So I'm gonna wing it as we go. But yeah, as I've already mentioned, I am a software analytics engineer, and how I got into tech, I think it was a little bit of an accident. I didn't actually go to varsity to study tech. I went there wanting to become a quantitative analyst, but it just so happened that computer science was part of my majors when I was studying, and then I liked it, and then here we are. So when I was doing my honors, I then did data analytics, and I had done computer science in undergrad, hence data, software, and then because I worked in consulting, I did a bit of everything. So yeah, kind of found myself here. Currently, I'm studying my master's in computation and applied mathematics and physics. Cool. So just to give a little bit of a story of, I had some cool facts here. So I am also the CEO and co-founder of the Guardian World platform. In my spare time, if I'm napping, I love to nap. And I also love to hike and listening to music and a little bit of singing, but I'm an absolutely terrible dancer. So in terms of my career journey, in 2018, I finished, I was doing my honors in big data analytics at BITS, and I was also an intern at a Google partner actually when I was doing my honors. So I was kind of doing both at that time, working remotely, and then I started working full time in 2019, and then and then I worked at startups. It's always puzzled me. I don't know if you guys have the question of what's better between a startup, consulting, and banking. Because I feel like when I was in varsity, that was like the big question. And now that I've kind of done all of them, yeah, it's interesting. But anyways, yeah, so then in 2020, I wanted to actually do my master's, and then I had this topic. I wanted to solve a problem in maternal health using data and AI, and I spoke to my supervisor, and he was like, yeah, we don't actually have enough data for that. You wouldn't get good data for that. So I decided to go and pursue it as a startup and a hackathon, and that's how Guardian Health was started. So a bit of an accident as well. It feels like everything that I do is sort of not really planned out. I'm not a very good planner, but it works out. And I worked at a startup which actually happened to grow very quickly. And I found myself being a software development at a really young age or young pace in my career. But I think one of the shining things about it actually is that I used to attend a lot of hackathons, and I started to and then I started something, and I think it really improved my leadership skills enough for me to be recognized at work, over and above my technical skills. Then after that, I moved to corporate. I currently work in corporate, where I work in a data team as both a software engineer and a full data stack person. I just do a bunch of stuff. Some of the lessons from consulting that I've learned. I feel like now my job is very structured, so I did struggle for like a year because in consulting, in the startup as well, it's kind of you get a project in banking and you kind of have to figure it out. Oftentimes, I felt like they used to oversell. And they'll be like, yeah, she knows how to make a chatbot, and now I have to just figure it out. The great part of it is I feel like I really learned how to swim very quickly. But one of the challenges for me when it comes to that was I felt like I could figure things out, but I didn't really have a specialization. So I felt like, can I really say I'm really good at like with data, for instance? Because it just felt like you do something for a few months, you go and do something else for a few months, but you never really specialize. And so that was something that I thought was a little bit disadvantage. And I feel like now that I work in a team where I have a very specific role, maybe I've kind of grown as a data person enough for me to be confident to say I'm a data person. Cool. So I got this topic from Michelle because I couldn't come up with my own topic. So what is codecraft? Apparently, ChatGPT says codecraft is the practice of writing code with a focus on quality, elegance, and craftsmanship. So I felt like on the slide I needed to talk a little bit about like good practices because I thought like, okay, let me just do something a little bit technical. So just something to keep in mind if you are somebody who does code, you have to write good quality code, which is clean and well organized. You have to learn design patterns to write good code. You have to be efficient. My boss likes to say that you have to build software not only for end users but also for engineers. So when you hand over your work, they have to be able to figure it out. They have to be able to maintain it. It has to be elegant and simple. You can't just have things for the sake of it, right? You have to test your code properly, and you have to have continuous improvement and be able to collaborate with others. I'm rushing through this because apparently I didn't have to be technical at it, so I'm just saying it because I did it. Cool. So overcoming challenges in ambition potential, I just put together a few points that I live by. I think one of the things that I've learned in my career is you cannot just afford to be highly technical. You have to work on your leadership and your communication skills. And I think it's very important. I think one of these days I was talking about how I have a friend who's very intelligent. Probably one of the most intelligent people that I know, but they have struggled to grow in their career. Simply because sometimes I think as youths we tend to be very you tend to be shy, in a corner, and you just don't interact because you think your technical skills are the only thing that matters. So please work on your communication and your leadership skills. And work on developing your skills, be it through hackathons where you can learn something super quickly or, just find something to do. One thing that I love though is I think a lot of devs I know are very much on top of this. Like we always make mistakes at something. So I think we really have this in order. Side projects are also really great. Over and above, I literally started Guardian Health as a side project. It wasn't something that I wanted to turn into a startup until the need was there. People felt there was a need and they wanted to use it. So work on something. Like worst case scenario, you have new skills, right? Network and attend tech events. I feel like so many of the opportunities that I've received as an entrepreneur has been because I attend these types of events. I attend events with different kinds of people, not just tech events as well. Like you have to go out there and meet people from different areas, go out there, let yourself be confident in who you are, get a mentor. And it's actually, I want to say that normally most workplaces provide technical mentors. So you want to get a mentor who's not actually just technical, someone who can grow you in terms of even your confidence, grow you in terms of your communication, someone that you can lean on in terms of what they have The company that I used to work for used to really be very big on personal branding. This is very important. Like, what do people think of you when you comes up? Like, work on this, write something, like, if you are good with doing some videos, do some videos online, do a little bit of writing, do something, but put yourself out there. Like, write something. If you mastered something, a certain subject, write about it, right? Tell the world. I like to say this a lot to juniors, that do not laugh at jokes that sound like they're undermining you. You have to ask for clarity, because oftentimes people think they can get away with like saying mean things to you in meetings and work. You have to ask, can you please clarify? Don't laugh at it. You have to ask to have that clarity. Always ask for reviews and don't take it personally. Like, ask for reviews, take them and grow your skills. Be it something that works on your soft skills or on hard skills and all of that, but you have to work on this. And plan, I really put this because I think it's important. I really suck at planning, but if you're good at it and master it, good for you. It's important to do it. Have goals, don't focus on your failures. Like, okay, it didn't work out. Keep it moving, right? And remember that hope is not a strategy. You can't be moving on hope. You have to have a strategy on whatever that you're doing. And I think this is one thing. I have a mentor of mine who's a CEO. She's a medical doctor, and I remember she got a new job a few months ago, and she said to me, I have such imposter syndrome. It was so weird to hear from someone who's doing so well, who has MBAs and is like super successful, talking about this, because I thought it was something that I only get to experience every now and again. So remember, this is something that we all experience. Acknowledge it and celebrate your achievements, and don't be too hard on yourself. Like, the fact that you're here, be it you have that tech degree or whatever brought you here, then you're amazing. Like, embrace that, right? And focus on continuous learning and improvement. Do not be afraid to negotiate your salary. Like, I'm still improving on this, but ask for more money. Like, ask for more money, right? And hydrate. I don't know how to put that, but please keep hydrated and please change your sheets often. Like, sleep inside some clean sheets, please, right? Like, your health is gonna improve so much more. And yeah, please take care of yourselves. That's about it from me. Yeah, engage up with me. So thank you.
Thank you. Hi everyone. Sorry, I was letting someone in earlier downstairs. So my name is Michelle. I'm a GDG co-organizer. And this Women's Month, we're closing it off with today's session. So there's a great focus on women, but it's for everybody, it's inclusive, because that's what Google is about. We've already heard from Titi. Our next speaker will be Rufile. I just want to tell you about her in the third person. Rufile is an extremely passionate person with a zest for life. She's driven by business growth through excellence and by revenue improvements in achieving team-based successes. She is in the human resource field as well as business development. She hails from Tech, and she has years of experience as a talent whisperer. So it was important to bring her on because, the title for today essentially was about debugging achievement. You see people that are already in fancy jobs and owning fancy businesses, but no one ever tells you how they got there, And sometimes the struggle also is about how do you navigate your way in a strategic way when you are an employee, And Rufilo is going to bring that flavor for us, in terms of bringing that essence. So I'm going to give her the mic. But before I do that, I do want to take any questions that you may have for Titi, because also she brought in the part about entrepreneurship. Thinking ahead, she's working a job, but she's doing something that she's passionate about. And we hope that inspires you as well. So throughout the evening, I want you to ask yourself what value you want to bring into the world, Do you want to be the person that you become or the person that you really are? And find ways in which you can be inspired to do that. Okay, so are there any questions for Titi before I move on? I will tell you that we will have about a 20 minute chat afterwards. So if you want to keep your questions, we can do that then. Are we good? Sure. We've got a question there. Let me start here.
Yeah, hi. So you mentioned like confidence in terms of communication, which is something that I learned. But I want to ask, like, in terms of the workplace, how do you grow confidence in your voice, like in terms of stand-ups? So I usually have a situation where people have blockers and I have an idea on how they can approach it. But because I'm new, I'll just keep quiet and watch people. Yeah. So yeah, how can I achieve that or better?
Hi. Interesting question. So do you not speak out because you don't think your ideas are great or you're shy? Because I think the two are different. So, I mean, like, you have to have confidence in your skills. Like, you're working on your skills, you're good enough, right? That's why you're where you are. You wouldn't be, right? So just like believe in yourself and your ideas and be what's the worst that could happen? Someone says it won't work. It's not the end of the world, right? So just like I feel like don't be too hard on yourself in terms of like overthinking if you want it wrong. I don't know if that helps. I'm sorry if it doesn't.
Hello. So you spoke about negotiating your salary. You just go there and say, I need more money. What doesn't work?
So I had to be a little bit sneaky on this one. So I moved from consulting, which was kind of a startup, to corporate. So I basically moved from a place where I was being paid okay, and in terms of corporate salaries, it wasn't all that much. So one of the things that I did was to look for more jobs and get more jobs and use them to get more money, right? But also sometimes I think recruiters need to know we're not comfortable giving you our pay slips, right? But I guess it depends on how desperate you are for the job. Some people say that it works for them to ask what the budget for a role is. So you can ask the recruiter that. Sometimes they can tell you so that you know where to kind of range your things as well. And like be outspoken about what you also expect. Like especially if you really hate the interview, like make it known that hey, you need this, right? So I think you just need to make sure that you're like you do well and you also hope that they don't ask for a piece. That's the worst thing.
Sorry, can I take another question? We also have HR, don't worry, let's let them all get a chance. We'll get back to it.
No, on the second part, I just feel like when do you think is the right time to actually do that? Because I feel like as an intern or like someone who's setting up in the career, don't you think it's a bit old for like someone who's setting up but already you're just asking for salaries and all of that stuff? So do you think it's a like great idea for someone to ask at that level, or maybe when you reach a certain level in your career, then that's when you can start speaking about money? So I don't know. What do you suggest?
She says know your worth. I didn't know my worth when I was an intern, so I didn't ask for more money. But she says you must know your worth. But one other thing that I found, like you can also like negotiate at work, right? Like you can bring up the topic actually, especially if they're quite open to that. Like we at work have this thing where you can like present where you see yourself. And part of where you see yourself is not just career growth, it's also financial. Like you have to be doing well financially as well. So like bring it something. Don't like show them like you have for the bag, but like make it known that money is important to you as well. Like, yeah.
Thank you, Titi. Give her a round of applause.
Good. My name is Rafida Foto, and I'm currently working for Tech as head of consulting. Let me just go into consulting. So the staff members that at the client side, we've got internal, we've got external. So I'm in charge of the whole external people, which is about 50 people. So I'm also juggling things. I'm also looking after recruitment, and I'm also looking after business development. I joined in March at Tech as a technical account manager, and then in May I became head of consulting because I love kids. I work a lot. Yeah, so I do have a background of HR. Been working in HR for 10 years for testing companies. So I've been working in this niche market, and I do understand the struggles, especially interns. I've had 10 internships since 2018, and so what we do is that we train them. After training them, we take them to the client site. I've always been very fortunate to also have leaders that believe in me. I've always worked very closely with managers, team leads, CEOs that believe in me. I was a receptionist, the next thing I was an account manager, and from account manager I then moved into HR. So I did study labor law and human resources, but obviously sometimes you struggle to get into what you studied for. Hence I started as a receptionist, and I just flew from then onwards. Like I said, it's important to have leaders or line managers that believe in you. Also, do not be shy in stand-ups. That way they actually see that you're trying something, whatever small it is. So the talent register name came because I truly, truly am passionate about people. I believe in people. If someone is shy, I call you aside and now find out about you and your career plans, your career path. What is it that you want? Even if your salary, if you're scared to talk about salary, let's talk on the side. And before that, I'll tell you before the interview if you're selected. This is the budget, and understand that you might be working with the first person in the family to get the proper corporate job, and you're going to be looking after other people. So I do advise on the side, do not just take, come to me, we'll discuss the contract, understand the basic, conditions of employment. You're allowed to decline. I've had interns who declined, and in 2 months they went to the Amazons, for example. So it's very important to know your worth and do not be scared, do not be shy. Also in terms of promotions, increases, it's important to have performance management. Every company is different in how they do the performance management. It might be casual one, it might be formal one, it might be an assessment that you guys go through. But it's important to know what's expected of you. Have a goal, and keep having those sessions regularly. So look, I could talk about this topic for over an hour because I'm very passionate about people, about the labor law, labor regulations, and HR as a whole. So I don't really know where to touch because I'm free flowing and I had a few technical issues. Almost didn't show up, but I showed up. And anyone who has questions, yes, ma'am. Don't go me. Sorry. I said free flowing.
Hi, my name is Venus, and I just wanted to know, from your perspective and your experience, what were one of the biggest issues that you kind of found that interns made when they do enter the job workplace from your perspective?
Well, to be honest, was being unsure what they wanted to do because we interview, we go through assessments, we're good, we talk about your benefits that you're going to get. It's a whole process, guys. It's not a cheap process. From recruiting, from the assessments, we get the panels, looking for venues, etc. It's not a cheap process. And then you find that the person is has signed the contract, and I'm ready to place them somewhere, for example. And it's been they're gone. So that's been sort of challenging, some challenging things that I had to deal with internships. And because I also gave my heart, I was a bit, invested, and I do invest. I don't care what people say. That's just how I am. Yeah. Anyone else in terms of recruitment?
So
Communities, what she spoke about, she talked about who the culture to communities, especially in the way people get about turning this into public space or getting into working well. From your experience, where you're watching, with real starting out, and with everything that's happening, there's a lot of aspects of things that happen that are affecting what happened in the working world. So I'm touching on more things from an HR perspective, looking at mental health. You touched on the fact that you're also working with doing your own space right now. So how do you think we can balance the shift in terms of ensuring that I'm okay to work? I'm okay to have a conversation with my manager and say, listen, I understand that you might be just to a manager, or it's not just determining how much I'm getting paid. How can you as HR on your level, with your power that you have, are able to balance and have a conversation with those managers about it? My emotional health, my mental health, my need to go up. Because not everybody goes to work actually just for salary. Some people are motivated by recognition. So how do you learn to space up all those aspects to a person not be pushed to what they work on together? So work-life balance is very important, and in my experience is that I would have one-on-one sessions with my staff's line managers, with line managers as well at the client site to just discuss the workload. Sometimes people are working overtime, I don't really know it, you know. So sessions are very important that we have open communication. One-on-one sessions and openness is very important, transparency is very important. So for my side, we to look after our people in terms of wellness. We go for gym sessions together. We go in for example, now we're going just an outing for a day. We take it for our people there. So there's different ways of looking after people holistically, you know. But the main thing for me is communication. In terms of wellness, we've got other programs that you can go for in terms of talking to someone privately. Yeah. Okay, last question.
So with all of the salary questions and commercial questions, as an HR expert, what are the metrics you look at? If I'm coming to you and I'm going to ask for promotion, if I'm going to ask for more money, if I'm going to ask for anything, what are metrics that you look for in a person? Also, what metrics do you justify what you're asking for?
To be honest, in my experience, it depends from company to company, line manager to line manager, division to division. They'll take into account how long you've been working in the company, your qualifications, how you've been going all out. Even if you've been working for a year, I've been working in Pilo since March. May I was already recognized, you know. So it depends on the company culture, it depends on the leader that you have. So I can't give you specific metrics, honestly, because most of the metrics that I've seen there, they don't, you know. So it's just communication, knowing your work, like I said. Yeah, for me, I've always been open with my line managers, my CEOs, and I've been moving upwards since then. You know? But be open, have those sessions, and it's a two-way thing. Don't expect your line manager to come to you and you know, let's talk about the performance. Also, you initiate those sessions and then ask them a way forward. You know, what's the plan? Where do you see me within the team? You know, are there any plans to grow, etc. So it differs from company to company. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Refile. I do have a special note. He never says anything, so I had to let him.
So I think a lot of the questions tonight so far are around your value to a company. At the end of the day, this is a business transaction, right? We must never forget that. As much as the company needs to prove their value to you during the recruitment process, you need to do the exact same thing. But it doesn't end once you're hired. It's a continuous process. And I always say to our juniors, it doesn't matter how good you are. If no one knows that you're good, you're not that good. So you need to prove your value, and that's a very subjective matter. For some people, it's showing up on time all the time. For some people, it's always being dependable when things catch on fire. All of these things will differ depending on your situation, and the space that you're in, and all of this. But in every space that you're in, always ask the question, how do I add value and how do I show that I'm adding value? Which means that when you come and say, this is what I need or this is what I want, as a company, that company has to think about their survival, and their survival is making you happy. So if you all of a sudden are struggling to cope because you're dealing with a personal issue, it is critical to the company's survival to give you time off, to get you in touch with a psychologist that can help you deal with your issues. If the company doesn't do that for all of their employees, they're not going to last. And all companies know this. So it's a two-way street, but it's always about value. Always show your value.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, we're gonna have a short recess, literally for 10 minutes, so that you can get some refreshments and some food. Thereafter, we'll have our two speakers. That would be Cheryl and Selo. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. And then also, I want to get things warmed up. Okay, some of you when you were walking in, asked you to take some videos because they might be some prizes. So we've got friends at DBT, we've got friends at Synthesis, and definitely our special friends here at BDD. There's exciting prizes, different prizes of different value. So what we'll do is we'll basically have a quiz on what our speakers spoke about. So it will be totally random, so we get prepared for it. But after the recess, we'll also check your videos. So if you haven't posted and tagged us at GDG Johannesburg, please do that, and then we'll do a review, and then we'll announce that at the end. Okay? Thank you.
Yep, the QR code.
Okay. Hi. I hope you took your videos for the competition, and obviously there'll be a quiz as well if you happen to not be on social media. Anyways, I'm excited to introduce you to the next speaker. We've got Cheryl. Cheryl has 10 years in the professional service sector. Her journey outside the corporate sphere as a non-tech in the tech space offers a compelling perspective for anyone drawn to unconventional narratives in the tech arena. Listen, Cheryl is awesome. Cheryl is a go-getter. Cheryl tries new things. She's got an entrepreneurial mindset. She spent some time in China. She could basically live anywhere and find a way to make money and friends. So I'm very excited to introduce this wonderful, stunning lady. I think she'll also give you some perspective for some people that are thinking about getting out of their comfort zone. I think that's what's special about her. And I hope you get inspired and let those who have ears hear.
Hello everybody. How's it going? I think I only got half a minute. I didn't know I was going to talk about my tech journey because I'm here to tell you my journey as a woman. So all the men out here, I hope you're ready to hear about the journey as a woman because it's something. Okay, is this a line as is?
Yeah.
Perfect. So I do wear many hats. I think today I'm going to stand here as an adventurepreneur because that really defines a lot of my journey. People always ask, who are you? What are you about? And I think the best way to really answer the question is just to go back to when you were a kid. What were the things that you always did? What just so natural that you enjoyed doing? To no goal or results at all, right? So I grew up in Botswana. I used to cycle every day in the bushes, chase my cows and all of it. Very adventurous, love it. And grade 3, I think I started my first little entrepreneurial spark. I created birthday cards, festival cards, without thinking that it was actually making money. But what is rooted in me is creativity, communication, and making money. Okay? So grade 3, did cards, people bought it from me. Grade 5, I did my first elevator pitch. I was on a family holiday at Sun City. We were in a Swiss from Heaven. Botswana didn't even have a sweet shop at the time. And there were these really awesome alien sour sprays. I don't know if you guys, yeah? And I told my dad, I think I could sell this at school and make a whole lot of money out of it, right? So I gave him my elevator pitch and I secured my first investor ever. He bought me a whole lot of alien sprays at the condition that I gave him 5% of my earnings. And within a week I sold it out. 5 days at school. Loved the fact that I was making money, and my mind at such a young age was thinking about how to make money, right? Okay, my relationship with technology is more of, serendipity really. I didn't plan to get involved in technology, it just happened to me. So I'm going to fast forward to 2015. I started a venture with 2 of my classmates from business school. We were looking to revolutionize the restaurant industry with an app. You scan the QR code, you get the menu, you order your meals, you customize it, it communicates to the kitchen, to the managers, and you get your order, right? This is 2015. In 2023, only now, we're able to scan QR codes, but you can't even place your order through it. It's just to look at the menu. I mean, how inconvenient is that really? I'm taking out my phone to scan the QR code and I still can't do anything with it. Rather speak to me and take my order, right?
A Mark Zuckerberg type of story. One of our partners wanted to buy me and the other partner out and rename it. Sorry, let me just change the slide. So the name of the app is called Nibble. His brother developed the app. We had a prototype. We had 2 customers inside ready to experiment with it, even though we didn't have any market research and viability. But anyway, that failed. Or learnings were actually achieved from it, right? We didn't have contracts, agreements in place, all of it. So one guy had the pleasure of running with it and we changed the name to Tastebar. Not too sure where that is in the journey now, right? But again, it stems down to innovation, creativity, and communication, and trying to make it right. So I am very adventurous, again. I love to experience new things, and even experiencing the same thing differently. And that's where innovation really comes to, right? Fast forward to 2017. So I've been in corporate since 2013. 2017, I decided, well, everything is made in China. Why not maybe find those things and bring it together, right? That's the only plan I had. I'm going to go to China. I don't really have a goal. I don't really know the product. I don't really know how it's all going to work out, but I'm going to try anyway. So I go. And there was this one time I was in a coffee shop. I went with a friend. I was meeting a friend. We're in this coffee shop. They're busy having a conversation, and 2 tables away from us, there's this elderly Chinese man, and he's sitting there. He's sipping, but like he's sipping, and he just gives me this glare, and we lock eyes for a moment, right? But the unspoken ambition in his eyes is what I could relate to. Body language. We don't even speak, he didn't speak a single word of English. At the time, I didn't speak a single word of Chinese, but with something. The day ended, fast forward, the friend that had met a friend had come to me the next week and say, we're actually working on a project on bringing energy storage systems into Africa. We were looking at the Zimbabwe market and the South African market, right? So perfect timing for me because in Africa we have the worst energy crisis. Southern Africa, I don't like it. This is 2017, right? I don't know anything about energy storages, let alone know that lithium batteries are the best type of technology to use with energy storages. And for those that don't know what that is, it's really just solar panels on your rooftop, you get alternative energy, it converts into DC electricity, stores the energy into the battery, use it during load shedding or use it whenever, and you don't have that high cost, right? So anyway, got into business with this Chinese guy. There we go. Now we are on the left over here. This is the guy that was me in a Tesla driving to the airport 2018 to come through to the energy endowment in South Africa. To execute this plan, to build a market, to open the market for a product that is really needed, right? On the other side, that's the team. We were motorbuying. Some of the partners over there are the ones that looked after Zimbabwe's market. But just after a year and a half, we opened office in Zimbabwe and we started making money. Solar panels, lithium batteries, accessories for solar panels, etc. It was good. It was good. And what was really amazing for me is to be able to have a company that I'm now the South African partner of, company branded on the products called Motorbike. That was a great highlight on my journey. That wasn't even planned. That was the exhibition we did in Zimbabwe. That's me meeting with all these guys, making really big decisions, giving up money and investing to Africa for us to create the market. So that was great. But then very short after that was COVID, right? So in China, we experienced COVID first. It was fine, we can still operate because in Africa, COVID hadn't reached yet. And then just a year later, COVID hit Africa. Had to close office. We could only keep going for about 6 months and then it just wasn't viable anymore. So that was the end of that business. No failure, still have all the connections, all the suppliers, everything, the business relationships, all of it. Great time.
and now I'm in China. This is not working out. What in the world am I going to do next? So I'm on the search in China. Right? Nobody speaks English in China unless you're in Shanghai. So there was this job opportunity for a marketing manager for a cross-border business, and it was in tech transfer. I applied for it. It was great. Worked with the Chinese embassy, with the Departments of Science and Innovation, with all the high-tech zones across China. And what we were doing was creating new market access and entry for technology to enter South Africa. Same industries, how they're busy operating, we can make it more efficient with the technology of bringing that over into from China into South Africa. So I jumped ship. And I was then promoted to country manager just after 6 months from a marketing manager. Because I was able to open up the market for a lot of the technologies they were looking to bring across. I had the connections from corporate before I left South Africa, and it just boomed. This picture over here, because it's a woman event, I am going to just, press the number a little bit. Not only was I the youngest member to provide an opening speech at the cross-border ceremony, but I was the only female that had the opportunity to do that. That was a great time. Moving on, this is, so they take us to different factories, you select the different products, you build the relationships with different factories, and then you have a whole ecosystem of suppliers that you can connect with. Entrepreneurship was just flowing through my blood like never before, and it opened an immense opportunity for me. Okay, I came back to South Africa just last year, and now I'm in the cloud technology space. So that's where I'm currently at. And yeah, my name's Cheryl. If you have any questions, please do ask me. Thank you.
Okay, we've got a question for Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl. What happened to Nibble? Where's Nibble now? Oh, that's a very good question. Yeah. So I'm not the type of person to look backwards enough. Whatever happened, happened. I didn't bother to look forward to it, but the last I do know it was going to change to taste health. So maybe you can Google it and see if anything actually, based on the market, that doesn't seem like anything did happen from it, right? It's still just scanning QR codes. And just to that point, I entered China 2017, right? Everywhere. It's basic that is how you order your meal. QR code, order your meal, basic.
Sure. Just to say, your story is so inspiring. Absolutely inspiring, especially as a female. So I want to know, with so much you have to go through, from Nibble to China, solar, to where you are now, what is the advice you give to women when they are faced with failure, or maybe not say failure, sorry, with challenges rather, and things might not go as expected? How did you get through that and still be able to thrive and push forward to the next endeavor?
Thank you for your question. I believe it's so important to be not only open-minded, but be open in spirit and heart, and just automatically you see how things align for you. It's almost like you're a magnet, right? And everything that's meant to attract towards you does, and everything that's not for you repels, right? So just having that wisdom of, if it's meant to go, let it. And open the space for new things to come. And just be adventurous about it. Don't think too much in your stand-ups. Don't think too much about your confidence. Just do and be. Because at the end of the day, we're all just humans. There's no reason we should be fearing the next year.
One more question.
Okay, hi. My question is, for somebody who was looking like for funding and all of that for your upcoming startup or something along those lines, what did you focus on, and where did you know where to go and what to ask for and how to phrase it correctly, if I can show you.
Thank you. I don't think you can be very pleased with my answer though. So with the Nibble startup, we raised our own capital in order to put the product together. Everything else, I didn't have a plan for funding. I didn't even have a plan for the business ventures that I was getting into. I didn't even know the industry that I was going to land up in. But I rode the wave. And Sixty mentioned, you can't just rely on hope. She's right, you can't just rely on hope. You have to have a strategy, right? I don't know, like in my whole life, I've learned that I can have a plan and it never has gone to plan. So let's go open, spiritually open. I think that's how it's just worked in favor.
Thank you very much, Cheryl. That was great. Okay, before I announce the next speaker, I want us to play a game, okay? Where we're just going to be completely silent and try to hear a vibration from somewhere. Because I've got a beauty here who has misplaced something. Okay? So I just need everyone to be dead quiet, legit, because it is ringing. Because we're all honest and it's wonderful, it's a good space to be in Africa. So we just need to hear it. Can you call it again, please? You calling it now?
Can someone go check in the bathroom?
There it is. Yay! That's fantastic news. I think we should bring her forward so you can all see her face. Because the relief on her face is unbelievable. Okay. Let me get back to my notes. Push this lady. When the food came out, she was just like, I'm going in, but she forgot about her phone. But I'm so happy she's found it now. Okay. Last but not least, we've got this firecracker. Swallow. Now, Swallow is a GDG co-organizer. She's a dedicated business analyst and recently has become a Google Woman Tech Maker. Okay, this is all her accolades here, but I just want you to know that Swallow is active in Toastmasters. She mentors speakers at TEDx, University of South Africa. And in addition to impressive accomplishments, it's worth noting that she's been recognized as one of the young African leaders making a significant impact in communities in 2023. This selection highlights her dedication and hard work in empowering underprivileged youth, promoting leadership, and making a positive impact on society. So the little flavor that she brings is about making a difference. It's about being purpose-driven. Okay, so I hope this inspires you as well to go out in your spaces and do a little bit more. That's within more of your nature than just trying to follow the trend or the hustle and bustle of trying to make it. Get back to center. I think Cheryl touched on that. So I challenge you to also be inspired by that. So without further ado, I'll let Swallow take you through a journey.
Hey, Misha. I feel like you oversold me. But thank you guys. It's such an honor to be here and to be one of the speakers for this Women's Day event, right? As Michelle has already mentioned, one of my current accomplishments is I'm a Google Woman Tech Maker. For me, that was like, what? Not me, But I think that's where it goes. What Titi said, imposter syndrome. You're doing all this amazing work, but you're like, man, it can never be me.
right? And I also wear so many hats. I'm a TEDx curator. I like things like I just like things. And I've also been nominated. I'm a young African leader where I had to compete with other young leaders from within the Southern area, right? Then again was like, what? Not me. But Michelle gave me 8 minutes. She knows that I talk too much. So I'll try to get to that 8 minutes. So you're probably wondering, what is this, right? This is a certificate that I got in grade 9. Grade 9, yes, grade 9. 2008, guys, okay, I'm old. So you might be wondering, why is this? Yeah. I remember our teacher coming into class and mentioning that, you know what, there's this new initiative program that is coming to our school. I come from a rural school, right? And then to me, it was like, okay, being the inquisitive, that girl was like, okay, like, what is it all about? It's like, well, it's about IT. You guys, and because I was good at mathematics and whatever, we were chosen to have a program. We went through the program, we teach all of that, and for now, the certificate is not going to fit. Hey! A few years later, the graduation stage. Grade 9 has passed. We are now in matric. You know, this thing, it always shocks me. How do you expect a teenager to make choices about their career? For me, it was like, what is happening? But anyway, by then, at first, honestly, the only thing I didn't know what it is that I wanted to do, but the only thing I knew that I could have done. So now, our teachers come. You guys need to apply for university. I don't know what it's that I want to do. So by then, at first, it was like a general BSc, so you're only going to know your age during registration time, right? But the plan was that I'm probably going to do a BSc instead. That was the plan. That was the plan. But then again, fast forward, we get to first day of registration. Guess what? Hi, I want to apply for BSc statistics. And that lecturer said, no. What do you mean? It's like, no, you're a few points short in your mathematics. The graduate stage, right? First of all, I didn't know what it is that I wanted to do. I sat down. Now the image is here. It's very, very, very cool. I sat down and I wanted to cry. And what I remember was I took out my phone and called my brother. I was like, oh, the plan is what? What now? My brother on the call with me, he's at work at that time. It's like, what do you see? I was like, I'm seeing School of Computational and Applied Mathematics. I'm seeing School of Economics. Well, my energy was like this. I wanted to cry, don't forget. And it's like, okay, we were told that you need 4 weeks, right? Okay, I'm not going to do computational and applied mathematics and do all of that. And then my brother in the background called one of his students. Rafux, what do you know about computer science? And Rafux was like, oh yes, my wife is a computer scientist and she's doing well. That was the design. Bravo! So now I'm like, okay, fine, let's do this computer science. What is it
all about it. I don't know, but I took it. Yo, what a shock. What a shock. Is it moving? It's not moving. Oh, yeah. Yes! That was the shock, guys. First day of class. Remember, I registered for computer science. I'm there. Then I type hello world. What is this? What is this hello world? But because I've already, I think Michelle said it, I'm a firecracker. I've already made friends from Grace. I was sitting next to my friend, I was like, what am I supposed to do again? Right. Hello world. It's like, oh yeah, I did IT in grade 10, so it's not really that bad. I'm like, oh my god. For me, it's like, it was shocking. But because I'm a person who collaborates, who learns, I learned. Survival mode. Guys, university will show you things. I don't know if it's just me or what. First project. What a shock! What a shock! Guys, first project came before we closed. You guys must build a snake game. Hi guys, I was like, snake. What am I supposed to do? Don't forget I got shocked by hello world. What more to build a snake game? What is it that I know about snake game? Let me tell you a lot. I know how to play it. The 3310 and 5110. Again, I said it without revealing my age, but I know I'm about to leave this room. But I did collaborate. I learned. I asked questions. And first year, second year, third year. Wow, I did it. You know, for me, it was like, you just stayed for nothing. You did it. That hello world goal, I'm never gonna forget about it. I survived. I still didn't know what I was doing. But I survived. Now, transitioning again. No. Guys, I think I'm a confused human being sometimes, right? And I'm not gonna stand here in front of you to say, I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. I take it one step at a time, right? So that's the kind of person I am. So now I am in corporate. I find myself in the IT department. For me, it was like, what am I doing again? But of course, what was I expecting? I studied computer science. That's why I always say computer science chose me, you know. And I've always wondered why do I keep on finding myself in the same place, you know? And that is when I got introduced into cloud computing. And for once, I wasn't surviving. Now I am thriving. And, you know, now it makes sense why everything had to happen. Now everything came full circle. That grade 9 certificate that I just did because I was just a curious person. I was that curious child. That hello world. That I wasn't even sure what I was doing, but I was still doing it. Being in corporate, and I'm like, I still don't know why what is it that I'm doing in the IT department? Now it all makes sense. And it only makes sense because of this initiative, Young Child Explorers, where the likes of me, who didn't know what they wanted to do, now they have a big sister. Now they have a mentor who says, you know what, let's do it. A seed was planted in the mind. I didn't know what it meant. But now we are planting a young explorers, we are planting a seed, cultivating it, and also harvesting it. So guys, congratulations. Thank you very much.
Any questions for Taylor?
So throughout your journey, you find yourself in these very mysterious seasons of cooking where you didn't know what you were doing there, you didn't know why you were there. How did you go through those seasons? How did you, when you felt like you don't know what's happening or why you're there, how did you eventually find your purpose and find the goal in life?
So for me, I've always been that person. If I start something, I finish it. Right? So I don't start and leave something, start and leave. You're gonna do that with your parents. Don't forget about your parents. Right? So once you start, you finish it. So I was like, I'm not sure what it is that I'm doing, but I know that there's a bigger purpose. And hence I said that I've been surviving, but all of a sudden I'm like, what? You are no longer surviving. So finish what you started.
I just want to ask, how did you then transition into cloud? Did you like do specific certificates for you to get into cloud? Like, what was your journey like for you to get into cloud?
Okay, so at work when I got the first class 8, you know, and they were like, everyone was doing this certificate. And I didn't know what it was all about. But I like things, and I started it, and then I went through, I did my AWS practitioner. Now I need to, no, not on top. So now I'm currently going to write my solution architect. Yes. So for me, that's how I was like, actually, this is a necessary skill that's needed. People don't know about it, especially those kids. Because now I saw opportunities right now. I saw all those opportunities and I was like, you know what, I'm going to preach this thing.
Hi. Just to say I loved your energy when you were presenting. I feel like somewhere it's starts somewhere. Yeah. I just wanted to know from your perspective, during the times when you weren't still sure exactly why you were on this path, or where it's taking you, how did you deal with maybe those moments of anxiety where you weren't sure if you should continue or if this is ever going to develop into something worthwhile? How did you deal with those moments?
You first need to build a community, right? I did say that I am collaborating. And one of our speakers mentioned, hey, you need to put yourself out there. So for me, it's not really a problem. I'm good socially, right? So I managed to make friends. And one of my friends, I see you, and he's here. Please let us put So, listen, he's one of the smartest. So I managed to talk. I'm like, you know, it's like, no, don't worry, it's not that difficult. You know, and then I got to that stage. Tutorials. You collaborate with people like Ivan. I see most of my friends are friends. So collaborating, putting yourself out there, telling people, and don't pretend like you know something when you don't. But actually go to people to say, I am struggling, I am drowning. once you do that, you know the rest is like anxiety. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there a last question?
Just a quick question. I'm sure right now you're established and everything is okay. I just have a quick question on as you were coming up your journey mentally. I'm sure like your days where mentally they affected you and say won't make it and stuff like that. I just want to ask like advice you give to somebody who's going through that phase where like right now they're sort of stuck to say whether they should continue with this or just give up. But seeing you make it in your journey, I'm sure it's quite similar to that of you right now.
Again, to you guys, it might look like I've got my life together, but to me, I don't.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, I don't have my things together.
Yep.
But when you get to that point where you feel stuck and you feel like, oh my God, why is it that I'm supposed to do? That is when you need to dig deep, guys. That one, go to YouTube and find the motivation. Motivation for feeling stuck. What's that one? That is me. I would like motivation. I feel like I'm not doing well. And then you're gonna hear them, and then they're gonna tell you, you need to stand up. Do it. So for me, that is how I can do that. Thank you very much.
We are the same generation in terms of when we started school, all our stories are similar in terms of people they are parents who developed to also just in animation for that. I went to college at that time. I was to I think that because I was doing so I think there's a sense of going time to think of this. That is what I'm saying.
Hi everyone, my name is Michelle and I'm from GDG Soweto. I have a question for Taylor.
Michelle.
My question is, where to from here?
Do I even know, Michelle? So I take it one step, one day at a time, right? I saw that the minute I say 10 years time, I'm going to be the chief information officer of Google. I become anxious. I become like, nah, is this even possible? But today, it's like, you know what? Today I'm going to be the speaker at GDG. That is enough. That is enough. One step at a time I am here. And that is all that matters. Yes, you do need those strategies, right? You don't walk in blind. Have those goals, but it's important and vital to break them down into those hours. That is when you're able to see where you're going.
Thank you very much, Tino. Okay, because time has escaped us, I don't know if we've got time for the panel discussion. So what I'm going to do, I just want to give away a little bit of prize stuff because I was really heavy on my shoulders. So as you can see, I've got the prizes in here in this little box. And then I'm going to put them in here, right? And then I'm going to try to be random. I'm going to start with some social media posts that you've seen. I'm going to start there. And then all the prizes are in here. There's DBT, there's BBD, there's Bitcrack, there's Google as well. So some of the prizes is we've got some 500 Rand take-out vouchers. There's about 4. We've got 250 Rand vouchers from Bitcrack. The 4 500 Rand vouchers are from DDT. We've got some lovely travel mugs and some swag with stickers and pins from Synthesis. And then we've got, so BBD has the escape, right? And the tickets are usually 450 bucks. But they've been wonderful enough to say, we want to see these beautiful faces. It's going to be at Empress Palace on the, there it is. Oh yes, on the 14th of September. All expenses paid. And you know BBD does not hold back. You just need to get yourself there and make sure you've got transport. Besides that, and then we also have from Google, so their certification vouchers were slightly different. So there's a 50% off. And we've got those certification vouchers, so it doesn't matter what the level is. So it works slightly different from the other providers, which I'll not mention. Am I missing anything else? So that's about 25. I think I've covered. So I'm going to start with the social media people we recognize. Ishmael? Yeah, the community builder is Ishmael. So what I'm going to do when I call someone's name, right, from the social media pack, then you're going to choose a prize. Okay. Yes, it could be any one of the things that I've mentioned. And who knows, I might quiz you on what I mentioned. You know, life is hard. Even when you're winning, it's hard. Okay, sorry. I've got a Google, I think it's a 9. You can stand here by the celebrity panel. Okay. Ishmael, are you going to let her choose? Yes. Just take one. Just take it. Okay. Do you want me to open it? Can you open it? Escape. Nine more to go.
Push up. 2 for, so 5 of them, 2 each. Yes.
Is that
5 winners. Yes. Each of them getting 2 tickets.
She gets a +1.
So 5 winners. Okay. That's fine. Continue.
okay? I need you guys to vote, right? We can either have 10 escape winners.
Push up. Pass me the pen, please.
Sorry. Wait. We can either have 10 escape winners, or considering how far Empress Palace is, right? You could have 5 of them, and then you could bring a friend if you win. Or someone, rather than just going there all by yourself. So can we vote? 10 or 5?
Michelle? 1 second.
Okay. Hi everyone. So, okay, just a bit of information. This isn't your only chance to win tickets to Escape. The other chances are that we have a number of partner organizations that we work with and support throughout the year, and they've all been given a number of tickets to give away. So for those of you on Twitter, you might be aware of a podcast known as ZA Tech Radio. So they're giving away 5 tickets. So follow them. Their link doesn't work. I will find them right now. And in addition to GDG as well, there's also a small organization known as OfferZ. From tomorrow, they'll also be running a competition to give away these things. So it's okay if you don't win. Today, there are other chances. And you can always buy them online.
This guy's going on about other people that you I don't know. Oh, it's like a guy that you really like telling you about what crazy is that? Okay, I'm trying it now because I had it for 10. So we come to the 5, right? And continue. Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
Michelle.
Okay, that makes it a little bit easier for me because I put it down to 20. Okay then, that was just the first one. I need to be quick. Okay, the next one is VK. Okay, Nike. Is it pretty? Two for your aim. You can still put in your Twitter and Instagram name real quick. You can put those fingers. Yeah.
Synthesis 5.
It's just a sexy travel map. And some stickers and a sexy pen. Okay. And then we also have Rafibit.
Which one? That's a
How many
receipt.
Rafinas do we have that posted? The one that posted. Okay, we have one Google Cloud certification. question. If anyone was any question. Now, Taban's going to help me here. I don't want anyone that is employed here to answer this question.
But please tell them. Yeah, disqualified.
What does the BBD stand for? I need a hand, and I don't need anyone to spit it out, but she must not be working here. Do you work here?
But she has a
Yes.
relation.
But she doesn't work here. Let's not be technical.
Okay. But the bloodlines. Genetic.
Get an answer.
Is it Roman March?
And then?
And
then?
So I said the BB.
Oh, yes.
One 500 rand ticket off. Courtesy of DBT. DBT. It even comes in a special box. Okay.
Getting warmed up.
Can I see a Sedi Wahao? And come and whisper around. There we are. This is from social media. One BitCrack voucher, which is a 250 rand takeout voucher. Okay. Next question. First hand. Okay, so the next question is simple, right? What is the prize from synthesis? Ask for your hand first. Did you just bring your buzzer without knowing the answer?
The prize from synthesis is a travel map,
She made it till she made it. Another 250 rand
Wait.
Okay. You can only win once, okay? Yeah, it's okay. I'm just putting in that disclaimer. Who is Geeklin? knockout. From top notch stars. Come see me later.
Okay, so we got Declan and okay, another question then. Yes.
Okay, so one of our sponsors, like I said, is BitCrack. It's a cybersecurity company. So I'm going to ask you something related to cybersecurity. I need someone to explain this like they're speaking to a 5-year-old. What is a white hat?
The way that guy, he's like more familiar. The guy with the weight. Yes, you.
To a 5-year-old, being technical, you don't get it.
No.
Oh, the one with the collar. 5-year-old. You answering a phone that's not really real. 5-year-old.
Okay. Listen here. Okay. Okay, white hat. 5-year-old child. Okay. Think of trying to steal sweets from a store, right? But you just want to show the security guards how a child your age would steal it without getting caught. So you're helping the business to know the tactics that are okay. So
You have the head now. It's a Google Cloud certification. Okay. I'm just going to make this easy now because you know we need to go, we need to get a drink.
But yeah.
Please, someone tell me what DVT stands for.
You?
DVT.
No.
Are you sure? Are you sure? You can even give me the T. The fact that you were going to try, you can just tell me what the T stands for. And you got a 500 grand voucher for it.
But the teeth doesn't stand for separation.
I was about to say,
But the teeth doesn't stand for
I know, but
separation.
at least you were cool enough to try.
True.
Okay, where did Rufino say she works? No, she can't. Rufino, that one. The HR person, she had her hand up first. Huh?
There we go.
Another DBT voucher. Please, the winners, please stay behind so we just have a group photo, okay? I'm trying to be quick about this. Hello, sorry.
Guys.
Hello, attention. Thank you. Which floor are we on? She was first. Yes.
Wait, what was the answer? Whoa. What was the answer? Oh.
we are auditing.
Synthesis swag. What's CC's company name?
Nice. On this side.
That's my
Come here. Google certification voucher. When Swelo spoke, she said that I gave her a time limit to how much time she One escape conference. What position was Cheryl promoted to in the company? Okay. I saw that hand first. Yes.
No, the question was what position was promoted to.
I just said position. One DBT voucher. Okay. So now you two kind of cut it short so people can mingle. So what I would maybe try and do is say, I want to meet all the girlies that didn't work tonight.
Yes.
So we can find a way to choose randomly so that there's a little bit more women, right? Before I do that, I'm going to allow the speakers, each of them, just to point at a person. Maybe that was their anchor while they were having their talk, right? And obviously someone that hasn't won yet.
I think they can. I think they can.
And with whatever's left, we don't have time. So with whatever's left, then the girlies that haven't won, please come see me, and then we'll see what we can take out of the rest. Because we're definitely giving out everything that we brought today. So I'm going to ask Cheryl to choose first. Just a face that hasn't won yet. That's going to come draw something, and then we'll move on in the panel.
Can I just call that lady that has the white vest? And I spoke to her earlier, you know, and because it's a woman event, she was so nervous to come to this event because it's her first time and it's new, and she had so much anxiety. And I just want to thank you for being so brave and overcoming that fear.
Take a pause.
Escape! Alright, guys, come on. I'm still.
Please tell them that they must please make sure they come to that.
It's fine.
I'll choose. When I was downstairs, right? There's a lady that I asked, I was like, let me take you a picture, please. And I said,
You come here
and I
and
did take a picture, it's like, it doesn't look good. You know? And since at GDG, I'm a social media person, and she managed to tell me that this picture doesn't look good. There. Tell me
I think this also goes to show that people notice you. You don't realize it. You don't realize it. You don't realize it, but it matters. Escape.
I'm gonna choose her. She was smiling throughout. It was really you. She was really like warm throughout the presentation.
Synthesis swag. I'm gonna choose the lady again with the jackets. She's being lady. She's being. Look at that smile. And that's Google Cloud certification. Okay, so I'm going to choose the lady with the blue. I've seen her many times come to our events. I've seen a lot of familiar faces. That one over there. taking notes from other people. And that's a Google Cloud certification.
No,
So
finish your
guys,
thing. Finish your thing.
that's the end of it. Thank you so much for bearing with us. We had to make some changes. We're a little bit late. Please don't forget the winners to take pictures because social media content is important to reach other people as well. Just think about how you knew about this event. Another thing is we'd like to thank BBG. This is Lucky and that's Tabang. They take a lot of time to work with us. Always supportive. And you know what, as much as someone can be under a business name, the reality is that if people don't like you and they don't want to work with you, they can find a way not to. So you appreciate them while they're there so that it can be a continued thing even when someone else gets on. So if you get in a position to do that in your workspace, please think about that. And I've got some special things here for the speakers. Who were courteous enough to come see us. So inside there is a spa voucher. So that's an exciting thing. Please, the people that have won, I need you to come see me afterwards before you leave. Some of you got your gifts. I need you for photos, but I also need to take down your details. And I think Lucky, you wanted to say something? Lucky would like to say something. It's been awesome, guys. We really appreciate you. If also you want the platform to maybe talk to people, encourage people, tell them about your journey, show them your technical capability, do reach out to us. We are open to that. It's not just about familiar faces. We want new faces. We want your faces. Okay, so thank you. It's been an awesome, awesome time. Lucky, can you please come?
Can I stand here?
I like it.
Can I just stand here? You. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. Thank you to our incredible speakers. Aibo, Danko. Michelle, it's always a pleasure hosting GDG. I've been doing meetups for very, very, very many years. And I can see other veterans that I won't name, that I've tagged on Twitter, but I won't name. But I think they can attest when I say that this community of developers in South Africa is changing, and it's changing for the better. The energy that we see at these meetups is very different to when I joined this industry. And I may not be able to say it in words right now. I think you will all just experience it as you go through it yourselves over the next couple of years. You'll see the shift that's happening. And the reason why we're able to have this shift is because of the relationships and networks that we built through these things. That's the power of community. And it's very important. And us as Africans specifically, we thrive with community. And so earlier on, I mentioned something and Michelle said, hey, they're mentioning other people. I believe that in South Africa, especially in tech, there are no competitors. We are all collaborating to build this incredible ecosystem. And with that note, I'm going to self-plug. Did you see the segue there?
Yeah, finish the live stream.
End live stream. And broadcast. Cool. So